It sure has been a bit since I've done like a homeschooling haul, but as many of you probably already know, and you probably purchased some things too, The Good and the Beautiful did a 15% off sale to go ahead, I guess, and buy curriculum for next school year. I am not that on top of it necessarily, but there were some things that I knew that at some point I was going to want to try and use. So I did place a fairly large order, and then I did get something from Not Consumed Ministries that I wanted to show you guys. And then last thing is to remind you or tell you, if you didn't know, Amazon has added another big sale. So they typically do one in July for Prime Day, and then of course you have like Black Friday and all of that in November. So they've added a March sale, and I think they're calling it the Big Spring Sale or the Big March Sale. If you are needing homeschool supplies and things, it's a great time to check. I'm going to put down below in the description box a link to my Amazon storefront where I have like broken out all of my homeschooling favorites and things: school supplies, organization supplies, books, parent things, teacher things, mom things, all of that on my Amazon storefront. So you can go check that out and see some of my picks from the sale. If you want to grab things for next year or the current year, whatever, when they're on a pretty good discount, this is a great time. Before we go too deep, I have to tell you really quickly that if you're already starting to think about curriculum for next year, be sure to sign up down below in the description box for my free webinar that is all about how to choose the best curriculum for your family. Now we can jump in. Got this fairly large box here. It's very heavy. It's been a hot minute since I've bought any homeschooling curriculum, which is kind of crazy because I'm usually quite a curriculum addict, but I've really been trying to like simplify things. It's kind of just my overall like ethos and theme of homeschooling in general is to simplify things as much as possible. Not to mention I've been doing this for so long that save for specific, consumable curriculum and stuff, I don't necessarily need to buy a lot of things, but I do just love books and curriculum and all the fun things. And The Good and the Beautiful has come out with a lot of things. It's been a while since I've looked at like their new releases and just different stuff that they have, and man, they've got some good stuff. So let me show you. The first thing that I picked up was actually all three of their, I'm going to say new because it's new to me, but if it's not like brand new to the company, don't judge me too harshly, but their new Science for Little Hearts and Hands. I love these. I have flipped through them already, and first of all, it's kind of like teaching through literature, which is obviously one of my favorite ways and a very effective way, I think, to teach kids about topics is through story form. And this one is the Big Book of Science Stories, Fields and Flowers. Then there's the Big Book of Science Stories, Sparks and Stars. And then there is the Big Book of Science Stories, Wind and Waves. And I think this is great. It really seems to fill kind of a gap when you look at their units and some of the science units and stuff. Some of that stuff is like a little tough to do with younger kids. If I recall correctly, I felt like a lot of theirs was like 3rd grade through 8th grade. So it's kind of, I think these are meant to fill that like pre-K through 3rd grade, which I think is excellent because, as you all know, I'm not a big fan of super formal education for younger kids. And so things like this that teach them science and different topics related to science about weather or the stars or just things that they're generally interested in, but they do it in the form of telling them a story is, in my opinion, just one of the best ways to teach kids. There's all kinds of like fun facts about the different, if it's a different animal or a different type of flower or butterfly or whatever, there's fun facts in there. And this is something that you could totally expand on and build on, almost like making a unit. You could really beef this up and add more to it, learn more specifically about, a certain type of animal or whatever, if your kid is really interested in that. To me, that's very much like how, you do like child-led learning and things like that, is wherever your child shows an extra interest in something, you dive deeper there because they're much more likely to retain it and pick it up if they have some interest in it. So I really like these science books very, very much. I'm very excited to use those with some of my younger kids who I think are really going to enjoy them, which also brings me to, now I would have to, yes, okay, sorry, I should also show you that these are the, the story books, the curriculum books, whatever, but then you also have the parent guide that goes along. So this is the parent guide for Wind and Waves, Sparks and Stars, and the parent guide for Fields and Flowers. So as we flip through, these came separate, so I haven't had as much of a chance to look through them. Okay, now I see. This makes a lot more sense. there's books that are correlated with each of the curriculums, if you will. So fields and flowers. Then within that, there's insects and mazes, there's butterflies, frogs and snakes, Glenn and his goat, find grandpa's gold. How funny. And then they break out for you the activity supplies continued, what you're going to need. And that's broken down by lesson if you want to do the activities. Trees that live and sleep. So then each lesson looks like this. Lesson 1, lesson 2. It just breaks it down. So you have an opening, the story time, any supplies that are needed, discussion with an optional activity, which is great. That's one of my favorite ways to do these things. Is sometimes I like doing the activities and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm feeling artsy fartsy and sometimes I'm not. And so I love that they kind of have that as an optional activity. It's not a requirement in order for the child to like understand the lesson. So that is how each of these are broken up in terms of the parent guide. Now I do want to check because I think I remember reading on the website that each of these is meant to be a years-long curriculum. So there's 30 lessons. So you could do 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. I'm not sure how in depth they are because I haven't, actually used them yet. Oh, on the back, there's audio narration pawns. How cool. Love that. So fun. Okay. Is there one in the other book too? Did I just miss it? No. Okay. That one's just for the sparks and stars for the audio narration. Let me check in wind and waves. Yep. There's narration pawns in that one. About this course. Okay. The big book science stories, lesson audio. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, so there are lesson audio narrations are included and will be accessed every few lessons. These audio narrations share interesting facts about the topics studied in a fun and engaging manner. I always love when they include like audio clips because it just, again, is something that like you yourself don't have to do. And listening to someone else read or tell you something or narrate something is always kind of fun and a fun thing to mix in. No prep time is required. Some activities will need additional supplies. Okay, so the lessons are taught in story, audio narration, and activity format with directions for the parent included in the lesson. These lessons can be completed in any order, which allows the parent to follow his or her or the child's interest. It just says that consists of 30 lessons. So it doesn't tell you necessarily how. Lesson length will vary greatly among children. Have the child do as much work each day as their attention span will allow. You do not need to complete 1 lesson a day. You might do more or less than that. So if your child was towards the older end of that age range for this, then you might actually do a lesson. If it was a science thing like this, I would still only do like maximum probably 2 a week. But obviously that's up to you. So you could do 2 of these a year. You could do wind and waves and sparks and stars, or you could do 1 a year, etc. However you wanted to do that. But they include those instructions. And then, so for the fields and flowers, this book is included with that set, the flower study. This is a really beautiful book. As someone who loves flowers, kind of just love it, okay? I love flipping through it. So basically, it just shows you different types of flowers, gives you information, and then has a little flower study. So some kind of like little activity or thing to do related to the flower, gives you its type. And the flower study is just like observations, it looks like, about the different types of flower, things that you should observe when viewing it. So that is a really pretty book. These are the flip books, the Beetles flip book and the Butterflies flip book. Oh, I see. All right. So this tells you correlated books that you could use with this. It's not necessarily ones that you have to purchase, but I did purchase. I see. I did purchase the Beetles flip book and the Butterflies flip book. All right. So this is the Butterflies flip book. Goes through the different types. And then you also have a Beetles flip book, which is, gives me the heebie-jeebies, but that's okay. And it shows you where to cut it in order to like flip them and match them. Okay, cute. I like that. All right, I also picked this up, the Poetry Parties for Littles, Insects and Spiders. Again, my kids are just like super into bugs and animals and all of that. Plus it gives them something to add to our poetry tea time basket that's a little more age appropriate for them. I always like to add things in there that feel like special for them. The Song of a Bee. I'm a little honeybee. How cute. Spider eyes. Oh, and there's like a little spider hat craft in there. Ooh, spiders. Okay, super cute. Oh, there's even like some ladybug fruit cookies. How adorable. Ladybug fruit cookies. How adorable. Okay, so that's going to be added to like our poetry tea time stuff. And then I purchased this set. I believe it was a set. I don't think I purchased these individually, but as you can see, my memory, working memory is not so great. But it's a set of the board books. I have almost everything that the Good and the Beautiful has released. So, but like I said, it's been a while since I've bought anything or shopped any of their stuff. So I wanted to test out their board books, even though we are pretty much past this stage. I mean, Benjamin's 4, but he definitely likes more in-depth stories. I love board books and I like having them around when my nieces and nephews are over. And I just like to check out new things and tell you guys what I think as well. So there's the Birds board book, which is great, beautiful. As always, in case I didn't mention this, you know, the Good and the Beautiful, I feel like one of the things that really sets apart a lot of their curriculum and stuff is that it's truly visually so very appealing. The illustrations and stuff in all of their books and curriculum are truly second to none. There's screaming happening. Are truly second to none. So there's oceans, forest, mammals, insects, and pond. My younger kids will still absolutely enjoy flipping through these and enjoy reading these. All right, so I also picked up this Snatch, a Birds of Prey game. I thought all of my kids, again, would enjoy this. And again, it's just something new from the Good and the Beautiful that I haven't seen that I wanted to try and test out. I have no idea how to play it. Symbols are included for players with color vision deficiency. Oh, they included symbols in case your child is like colorblind or something. There's symbols so that they can still play. You know, I do love that they, as a brand, have seemed to be trying to constantly improve and make things more accessible for all kinds of kids, right? And I love that. Okay, so let's see. That's awesome. These are cool. So that's like the eagle card, and on the back, it's all the information about the bald eagle, like some facts and stuff. The golden eagle. Oh my gosh, these harpy eagles. I can't. This looks like an old woman that you run into at the antique store that you're like, is she a ghost? Is she real? Yikes. Am I right? Yikes. I don't know how to play this game. I've not played it. Wow. Oh my gosh. Amelia is going to be obsessed with these. And in no time, she will know every single one of them because she identifies birds and animals that I don't know anything about. I'm like, what is that? She's like, it's a such and such. Okay. Okay. Snatch card. Look out. This spotted harrier has snatched your cards. How cool. Okay. Inside this little pamphlet are the instructions for how to play Snatch, a Birds of Prey game. Instructions, colors, categories, gameplay. Cool. So it's not a complicated game by any means. My kids are going to love this. Plus, it comes with a very nice, like, durable box. And same thing, I also got the flowers game. Did I get this for myself? Maybe. Will my other children enjoy playing it as well? I said other as though I'm one of the children, sort of. This one has the colors and the shapes like in the top part of the box, which is cool. Maybe the other one did too, and I just didn't notice. No, it didn't. Same thing. You have your instructions, and then you have your flower cards. How cute. Chrysanthemum, coneflower, hydrangea. I have a lot of these planted in my yard right now. Zinnias, yes, queen, yes. Tulips, lavender. These are all things that I don't have crocus. Can I have crocus? I don't know. Does that grow where I live? I've not heard of crocus. Lilac, geranium, hibiscus. It's all so good. Daffodils, marigolds, dahlias. Ah! I love it. I love it. Verbena, orchid, forget-me-nots, bluebells. Those are awesome. Okay. I'm definitely going to enjoy playing this game. So might be a kid game, but mama is going to partake. I think that's it from my Good and Beautiful. It's all that's arrived. So if I ordered anything else, I've forgotten about it / it has not arrived yet. And then I wanted to show you, if you have not checked out Not Consumed Ministries, we've done a few of their family Bible studies. I really like that you can purchase like the parent guide for them, and then the different workbooks you can purchase based on like chunks of grades. There's like pre-K, primary, and then one more or two more after that. I don't recall off the top of my head. But you can, be able to pick like the appropriate workbook so that you're doing the family study together. But what your child is being asked to do is at their level. I wanted to try, I think this is new for them this year. It's understanding what Easter is really about, uncovering mercies at the cross. So if you are, I know we're fast approaching Easter, but if you are looking for something like that for your family, for your kids this year, then I would definitely check them out. So far, we've been really pleased with everything that we've gotten from Not Consumed Ministries. This one has like a little sticker book. How cute. Mercy and a Promise, Mercy at the Manger. It's got the instructions in here to tell you how to use this Bible study. It's got the like journey at the cross, every step. And then you've got your lesson, your read aloud portion. They're not like over the top, right? It's reasonable, something that you could do with your kids and at home. They're not like too intense. I have much more to come. Like I said, be sure to check in the description box for my links to Amazon sale finds and things related to homeschooling in this big Amazon spring sale. I am currently in the process of rearranging. I don't want to say renovating. I'm not renovating, like rearranging and setting up and making some changes in the homeschool room. So I'm going to do a updated homeschool room tour very soon. That will be coming very soon. And as we start to think about curriculum for next year, I do have a free webinar coming up that you can sign up for down below in the description box that is all about how to choose curriculum, like how to choose the best curriculum for your family. So all the information to sign up for that will be down below in the description box. And then I'm going to start doing some more curriculum reviews. If there's a specific curriculum that you would like a flip through and a review of, then definitely let me know down below in the comments. And I will get to that as soon as I can. And of course, subscribe if you've not already. I would love to have you join us and be a part of our community. So just hit the subscription little button thing down there. It's totally free. All right, y'all, that is it for me, and I will see you again very soon.